Good morning, class 8th. Welcome to your history and civics class. We are doing lesson number 3, the Indian judiciary, which is known as the law protecting body. Let us see the objectives that we have done. Number 1, the High Court. And under High Court, we have studied about its jurisdiction powers and functions of the High Court, original jurisdiction, appellate jurisdiction, supervisory jurisdiction, revisory jurisdiction, and writs. You must know the answers of these technical terms that we have done. Number 1, High Court. Number 2, Court of Record. Number 3, Writ. Number 4, Original Jurisdiction. And Appellate Jurisdiction. Children, through these cross questions, we can check our previous knowledge about the lesson. Number 1, what are the powers and functions of the High Court? Number 2, what are the differences between civil and criminal cases? Number 3, explain the original jurisdiction of the High Court. Next, explain the writ of prohibition. Next, judges of the High Court retires at the age of, and what are the qualifications required to be a judge of High Court? Children, the objectives that we have to cover in today's class are: number 1, the subordinate courts. Number 2, civil cases and criminal cases, the major difference between both of them. Number 4, the revenue courts. Then we will study about the Lok Adalats and the Panchayat courts. These technical terms are going to help you in understanding the lesson even more clearly, so please pay attention. Number 1, subordinate courts, the courts which operate at district level and below it. Number 2, civil cases. Civil cases involve conflict between people. Next, criminal cases. Criminal cases involve violation of law. We will study about civil and criminal cases in detail. Next, district courts. The courts that hear civil cases are called the district courts. And session courts, the courts that hear criminal cases are called the session courts. The next term is revenue courts. The cases related to the payment of revenue are heard in the revenue courts. Next term is Lok Adalats, the court that provides speedy justice. Next, Panchayat courts. The Panchayat courts deal with the civil and criminal cases at village level. Children, now let us start our today's topic of subordinate courts by first knowing the different branches of the legal system. Okay, so there are two branches of legal system. They are criminal law and civil law. We have to understand this concept a little and then we will move forward. Criminal law deals with conduct or acts that the law defines as offenses. For example, theft, harassing a woman to bring more dowry, or murder. And on the other hand, civil law deals with any harm or injury to rights of the individuals. For example, disputes relating to sale of land, purchase of goods, rent matters, divorce cases, etc. In civil case, a petition has to be filed before the relevant court by the affected party only. In a rent matter, suppose in a rent matter, either the landlord or tenant can file a case. Whereas in case of criminal law, it usually begins with the lodging of an FIR. FIR means First Information Report with the police who investigate the crime, after which a case is filed in the court. In the case of civil law, the court gives the specific relief asked for. For instance, in a case between a landlord and a tenant, the court can order the flat to be vacant and pending rent to be paid. But in case of criminal law, if found guilty, the accused can be sent to jail and also fined. The courts at the district level and below are known as subordinate courts. The main burden of primary investigations and decisions thereunder falls on the subordinate courts. The administration of justice in each district in India is on 3 types of courts, and they are civil courts, criminal courts, and courts of revenue. Let us discuss them one by one. These civil courts. The court of the district judge is the highest civil court in a district. The district judge is appointed by the governor in consultation with the Chief Justice and other judges of the High Court. Other judges and magistrates. Magistrate is a civil servant who manages the law in a particular area. And what is the difference between a judge and a magistrate? That we have already done in our previous video. So, other judges and magistrates of these courts are appointed by the State Public Service Commission, which is also known as SPSC, on the basis of competitive examination. Their pay and allowances are decided by the state concerned from time to time. These courts are further graded from the lowest level to the district level. They deal with the civil cases of various kinds. Civil courts exercises jurisdiction in cases related to land, property, monetary transaction, arbitration, marriage, divorce, guardianship, will, etc. Arbitration means a form of alternative dispute resolution, and guardianship means the position of being legally responsible for the care of someone who is unable to manage their own affairs. As discussed earlier, that the court of the district judge is the highest court of the district. It decides both the civil as well as the criminal cases. When a judge decides civil cases, he is called the district judge. And when the same judge decides criminal cases, he is referred to as the session judge. Next is the criminal court or the session court. The highest criminal court in a district is the session court. The district judge of the civil court also works as the session judge. Cases of murder, dacoity, and violence are heard by the session judge. He can award capital punishment subject to the approval of the High Court. On page 155, let us do the reading of the subordinate courts from your book. Each state is divided into various districts. The courts which operate at district level and below it are called subordinate courts. The courts that hear civil cases are called the district courts, and those that hear criminal cases are called the session courts. On page 156, there is a difference given between civil cases and criminal cases. Civil cases involve conflict between people. Criminal cases involve violation of law. Mostly financial penalties in case of civil cases. Financial penalties to death sentence in case of criminal cases. Example of civil cases: property dispute. Example of criminal case: murder, theft. The next court at district level is courts of revenue. Cases involving the assessment and collection of land revenue as well as property tax are dealt with by the courts of revenue. Revenue is a state's annual income from which public expenses are met. These courts are divided into 4 categories. Let us study them from ascending order. The lowest court in the courts of revenue is Naib Tehsildar's court. Tehsil means district. Naib Tehsildars are mainly concerned with the assessment of the land revenue and property taxes. Appeals against their assessment can be taken to the Tehsildar's court. Tehsildar is responsible for the collection of the revenue and property taxes as assessed by the deputy Tehsildar, means Naib Tehsildar. Next, collector's court. Collector is generally a deputy commissioner of a district. He helps the revenue department in the process of assessment and collection of taxes, besides discharging his original duties as the administrator of the district. Above the collector courts comes the commissioner's court. A commissioner generally has 3 to 4 deputy commissioner under him. He looks after the assessment and collection of the revenue of his area. And the highest revenue court in the district is the Board of Revenue, which hears the final appeals against all the lower courts under it. Page number 156. The revenue courts. The cases related to the payment of revenue are heard in the revenue courts. The Board of Revenue is at the top of all revenue courts of the states. At the bottom of the revenue court is the court of the Naib Tehsildar or Tehsildar. Naib means the subordinate of the Tehsildar is known as Naib Tehsildar. Lok Adalat, as is clear from its very name, means the people's court. It is a sort of voluntary forum comprising a few public spirited people, including Supreme Court judges, lawyers, students, and social workers. They pursued the opposite parties at dispute to bring their cases before them for speedy settlement. Lok Adalats were set up by Legal Services Authorities Act 1987 on the recommendation of Justice P. N. Bhagwati as a legal forum to provide cheap legal aid and quick justice to the people. Working and advantages of the Lok Adalats. The Lok Adalats have some advantages of their own. The parties at dispute soon agree to such a proposal of speedy settlement of their disputes, being tired of already too much delay and botheration. The regular law courts, already under the stress of too much load, provide every help to the parties concerned to consult the relevant files piling up under their charge. Then, in the spirit of give and take, and without the feeling of victory or defeat, the negotiated settlements are reached much to the relief of the different parties. The first Lok Adalat was inaugurated at Junagadh, Gujarat in October 1982. There is no denying the fact that the system of the Lok Adalats has many advantages of its own. First, much time is saved in the settlement of disputes by the Lok Adalats. If hundreds of cases are decided in a single day, what more is desired from any system? The victims of accidents require immediate relief or help, and the Lok Adalats fulfill this need and thus save many precious lives which otherwise would have lost for want of immediate help. Second, besides time, money is also saved. Long litigation often reduces the litigant parties to zero. Litigation means the process of taking legal action, and a litigant is a person involved in a lawsuit. Third, different Lok Adalats have relieved the law courts of much of their heavy load of work. Last, the settlements made through the Lok Adalats never leave a bitter taste. There is no ill feeling either, because everything is decided in an atmosphere of complete harmony. Scope of the Lok Adalats. The system of the Lok Adalats, because of their good work, has come to stay. Since October 1985, when the first Lok Adalat was held in Delhi, various Lok Adalats were held in Delhi month after month, which have settled thousands of cases. The example of Delhi was followed by Gujarat and many other states, much to the relief of thousands of litigants. Lok Adalats encourage parties to settle cases outside the formal court system. Generally, cases where parties can reach an amicable settlement, including bounced check and bank recovery cases, civil cases, motor accident claims, service matters, family matters, and traffic challan cases are taken up by the Lok Adalats. Page number 156, let us do the reading from the book Lok Adalats. Lok Adalat or People's Court is an inexpensive judicial service. To save both time and money, the system of Lok Adalat was set up in our country. It resolves disputes in a single hearing. Thus, Lok Adalats provide speedy justice. It has proved to be valuable not only for the underprivileged but also to lighten the burden of the courts. Underprivileged means needy. As a result, there has been a decrease in the number of pending lawsuits. A retired judge generally heads the Lok Adalat. He is assisted by a lawyer and a social worker. The parties at dispute put forward their cases. These cases are solved through mutual understanding. The Panchayat Courts. Panchayat is an elective council of about 5 members organized in the Republic of India as an organ of village self government. The Panchayat sits as a court of law. Cases are heard in open meetings in which all members of the caste group concerned are entitled to take part. They are also known as Nyay Panchayat. Nyay Panchayats are the judicial components of the Panchayat system, which forms the lowest rung of our judiciary. They are created for the administration of justice at the local or rural level. It has judicial functions both in civil as well as in criminal field. It can deal with several minor offences like simple hurt, wrongful restraint, theft, etc., and punish an accused to pay the fine. Children, when 65% of our population resides in rural India, there seems to be no escape from some form of Nyay Panchayat. We need an effective institution which can provide justice near to the doorsteps for the rural India. Otherwise, the justice will remain to be for the urban courts, which is far from the reach of poor rural people. Page number 156, the Panchayat Courts. Reading. The Panchayat courts deal with civil and criminal cases at the village level. These courts are known by different names in different regions, such as the Nyay Panchayat or Gram Kacheri, and so on. 3 or 4 villages have Nyay Panchayat. Petty civil and criminal cases are tried in these courts. Petty means small. The parties can also appeal to the higher courts against the judgment of these courts. Nyay Panchayat can only impose a fine. It cannot award imprisonment. The Consumer Protection Act of 1986 was an act of the Parliament of India enacted in 1986 to protect the interest of the consumers in India. It was made for the establishment of the consumer councils and other authorities for the settlement of consumers' grievances and matters connected therewith. Consumer protection is the practice of safeguarding buyers of goods and services and the public against the unfair practices in the marketplace. That's it, children. This is the end of your topic as well as your chapter of judiciary. Let us see what you have learned in today's topic. The subordinate courts, and under subordinate courts you have read about the civil courts, criminal courts, revenue courts, lok adalats, and the panchayat courts. Read pages 155 and 156 of your book, do the back exercises, revise all the important terms. Take care of yourself. Good luck. Bye bye.